Hi, we'll be starting our chair yoga class at 1:30. So we'll be starting in about 6 minutes. Thank you. Hi, we'll be starting the chair yoga class at 1:30, so in about 4 minutes. Hi, we'll be starting the chair yoga class in about 2 minutes at 1:30. Hello. We're going to be starting in just a moment. Hello, and welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Lisa, and I'm a certified Warriors at Ease yoga teacher. Today, I will be your guide through a gentle chair yoga class designed to de-stress and get in touch with breath. So please start by taking a comfortable seat. Line your feet straight ahead, knees straight ahead. Let your shoulders relax down your back, torso long. And just feel the support of your feet into the floor, backs of the legs into the chair. And let's get started with some breath work. So if possible, unless you have any congestion or anything that would not make that desirable, keeping your mouth closed as you breathe can enable you to focus a little bit more on the breath. And feel free to just find a spot down on the floor to look at, or maybe close your eyes. And let's start by listening to breath. And what's the orientation of the breath? When doing full breathing, such as belly breathing, the breath comes in, fills up the whole expanse of the lungs, and you can feel the belly expand out. So take a few moments here, take a few breaths here to see if you can notice that. And if not, maybe concentrate on moving the breath down just a little fuller, a little deeper. There's a natural expansion of the rib cage. If you bring your hands to the ribs, you can feel that slight movement of the intercostal muscles in between the ribs. Also working to keep breath moving. And if you bring your hands a little further around towards the sides, the very beginning of the back, maybe noticing the breath here. So much of our lung capacity actually, the lungs and the back body, we think about breathing, we think of the chest, but one of the keys to full breath is utilizing that whole breathing area. What's the quality of your breath? Does it feel like it could be a little deeper? And without forcing, perhaps make the breath a little fuller. And feel the expansion of the lungs, the whole circumference. So not just up and down, but whole circumference of the torso filling up with breath. What's the rhythm, the tempo of your breath? Silently count to yourself the length of the inhale, the length of the exhale, and no right number there. Usually the length of the inhale not matching the length of the exhale. But notice if it's rhythmic as far as all the inhales approximately the same, all the exhales. And just counting gives you a way to focus as you breathe. So silently to yourself, counting the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. And letting go of any control, just come back to simply listening to the breath. Letting the jaw relax. Release the muscles around the eyes. And breathing in, breathing out. Starting our first set of actions, of yoga exercises with the neck. Let your head turn to look to the left. I'm mirroring you. And not forcing it, just moving it through your natural range of motion. And then turning the head in the opposite direction. Back to neutral. And drop the left ear in the direction of the left shoulder. Feeling that stretch down the side of the neck, maybe even up around the ear. Then bringing the right ear in the direction of the right shoulder. Just let the weight of the head do the work. Don't force it. And as you stretch the neck, again, feeling the support of the feet into the floor, backs of the legs into the chair. So that feeling of rootedness, of grounding. Bringing the head up, leaning forward slightly, and letting the head drop forward, keeping space in between the chin and the chest so that you're not closing off the throat, not impeding the breath. And just listening to the steady inhale and exhale. Sitting back up, looking up past where the wall meets the ceiling, feeling the shoulders relax down. Feeling the jaw relax. And again, feet and legs rooting down, providing support. Starting to make the movement dynamic versus static. Just turn the head from left or right. If it feels more natural for you to your movement to be a little faster or slower than mine, that's perfectly fine. And then, so nodding the head yes, lifting the head up, letting the head drop, not letting the head drop back in an unsupported way. So and one last piece here. Let the head drop as you move it from side to side, again at your pace. So tracing a semicircle from one shoulder to the other, going into any place maybe where it feels a little bit stuck. And now take a moment, move your head, move your jaw, and notice if it feels just a little freer, a little more loose, less tension. And remembering that's one of the practices you can always come back to on your own at any time, just as the breath is always there for you too to come back to. And bringing the fingertips onto the shoulders, pulling the elbows out front, and then back. So warming up the shoulders here. Again, torso long, sitting up straight. And move it the opposite direction. Doesn't matter what direction you started with. And keeping the neck long. Again, feeling the support underneath you. And now, keeping your fingertips on the shoulders, bring the elbows towards each other. And notice that sense of expansion now on the upper back. The tops of the shoulder blades move together, and a contraction on the breathing area on the front body. And pulling the elbows back. Now there's a contraction in the back. The tops of the shoulder blades move towards each other. So always we expand and we contract, always coming back to the place in the middle. Again, elbows touch. And if they don't quite touch, that's fine too. And then bringing the elbows back again. So here an expansion through the chest, facilitating breath, and contrasting this expansive feeling with the rootedness, the grounding of the feet into the floor, back to the legs into the chair, and keeping the neck long. You can take your hands off of your shoulders. Now, lift your left arm and hold on to the left tricep with the right hand. Let the shoulder drop. And just pulling the arm across for a stretch over the upper arm, into the shoulder, maybe down even into the top of the back. And check that your neck is still loose so that you're not helping the arm by creating tension in the neck. And breathing. Let that go and switch it to the other side. So you're in charge of how far over you pull this. So obviously never working to the point of discomfort, just the point where you're trying to feel a therapeutic stretch, just opening up the body a little bit. Okay, we're going to change this stretch a little bit. So bringing your left arm over, and you can help that by holding on to the elbow with your right hand. Again, trying to keep your neck long, torso long, and stretching the arm again, but now incorporating a stretch into the side body. So from the armpit down to the hip, and those same intercostal muscles between the ribs that we noticed when we were breathing, the expansion, now stretching them out. And taking it to the other side. So one elbow is up and the other arm is just helping it stretch out. Hands back on the thighs again, and as though you were pushing something away from you, and cup the fingers. Think about if you were opening, say, a jar of peanut butter. Cupping the fingers, just so you were rotating the arms. So trying to keep the upper arm stable. So we're not doing this. It's very subtle. A little bit of movement for the wrists, and now flip the hands up, the fingers point up, relax the shoulders down, lengthen the torso, and as though you were pushing something away from you. Spread the fingers wide. Now let the fingers drop. So stretching out the forearms all through the wrist. And then finish this off. You may even hear a little bit of snap, crackle, pop here as you just shake it out. And then just let the arms hang on the swing. And so coming a little forward in your chair so that you have some room here, but not so forward, obviously, that you're not completely supported in the chair. And the knees follow the feet. So second toe, center of the knee. So the feet are pointing out to the right. Again, I'm mirroring you. And sitting up straight. And reach the arms out. And you can actually flip the palms up. And that same thing we were trying to concentrate on with the hand movements. So flip the palms down, but keep the upper arms with an outer rotation. And looking out over the extended arm, and this is a seated variation of a standing pose, very common in yoga, called Warrior Two. Relax the shoulders down, torso long. Breathing. Again, feeling the feet press in and extending out, so rooting down to rise up. Changing this a little bit, so my torso is moving towards, not it maybe completely to, but towards the front of the room, and hinging at the waist here. Bring your your right hand on the thigh for support with the palm facing up. And extend the other arm overhead, variation of side angle pose. And feeling a stretch from the fingertips to the armpit, armpit to the hip. Keeping the neck and head in line with the arm. The top arm, the palm faces down. The bottom arm, the palm faces up. And breathing. So changing it again, and you can bring your feet a little wider if that feels still supportive. And hold on to the chair with your back arm. That would be your left. And the palm again faces up. And hinging at the hip, keeping the neck in line, keeping even the back shoulder moving back. And into this version of reverse warrior. Again, press down with the feet and the backs of the legs, and from that rootedness, extend out. Coming back through center. And then shifting around, taking it to the other side. Again, check that you're not cycling the foot, so the thigh follows the knee follows the foot. So set the foundation first. So feel that rootedness, and from that rootedness, you can start to extend the torso up. Extend the arms out, keeping the chest broad, keeping the neck long, and bringing your gaze over that left hand and the front hand. And the feet into the floor, backs and the legs into the chair. Pressing down gives you the support to extend out. Side body long. Lowering the hands, bringing the left forearm, palm up, pulling the shoulder up and back, opening the breathing area, and then extending the arm over. So again, stretching through the torso, lengthening the side body, and feeling that support underneath you, and from that support, freedom to extend out. Okay, again, holding on to the chair. This time this would be your backhand would be, again, remember I'm mirroring you. So this will be your right hand, palm up of the left, and extending out. So warrior two, we were right in the center, side angle, reaching forward, and reverse warrior, reaching back. And coming back to that place in the middle. So both feet forward, both knees forward, and scoot up just a little bit so you have some space behind your back and the back of the chair, but obviously you want to make sure you're supported in the chair. And start to the spine move in, belly button move in, shoulders pull forward, hands resting lightly on the thighs, and as you extend up, going past the center, letting the shoulders move back, arching the lower back, opening the chest, letting the neck drop back slightly. And moving through seated cat-cow. Again, feeling the foundation of the feet. Pressing the backs of the legs into the chair. And from that, freely moving the spine in one direction and the other. And if your cat-cow pose is a little faster, a little slower, then you're following your natural movement. Back to the place in the middle. And finishing off with some more breath work. Let the palms reach up. Inhale up. Extend up. Exhale down. If possible, keep the mouth closed as you breathe. And again, if your pace, because you're following your breath, is slower or faster, then absolutely right. Bringing the breath in, expelling the breath out. And just a couple more here. This is an energizing practice. You bring the breath in, incorporating movement with breath. And always feeling the support underneath, and from that, the ability to move freely. So bring your hands back on your thighs, let your shoulders relax down, and either closing your eyes or looking at the floor for just a moment here. And tuning in maybe to how this practice landed in your body. And thank you so much for joining me as part of Operation Remote Resilience. Please consider visiting the link below to make a donation, ensuring the continued accessibility of resources like these. Supporters like you make it possible for Warriors at Ease teachers like me to continue to serve those who serve. This is Lisa signing off of Operation Remote Resilience. In health, resilience, and connection. And thank you so much for joining me today. Be well.